Yo, move it, you know I do it. Introduce you that ritmo de cumbia from Selena. You're fire, I'ma match that gasolina. My mixtape's hot, but God damn. Ooh, have you seen her? Ooh, have you seen her? She got the moves of dancing in la cocina. Mira como mueve, let her know that Santos said this.
Oh, yeah.
Estás bien buena. 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 Hey, muévelo like pronto. She said she wanna go and get to know Santo. Es que le gusta la cumbia con saxo. Makes her lose control on the dance floor. Cause she's at every baile. I say, dale aire. I say, dale aire. Dile a tu mamá que estás en la calle.
Oh, yeah.
Santo. Estás bien buena. Estás bien buena. Estás bien buena. Estás bien buena. Estás bien buena.
All right. Hello. Mic check real quick. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect, guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with Cinthia. This is episode number 7, and I'm so excited to have a local here. I don't know if you might be my first local interview, even though we're not in the same studio. But welcome, Santos. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk to you. I was just like, man, I'm glad I got some time with you because I know, like I was telling you backstage, I know you're a super busy man, but I was like, I'm so grateful that you're able, that you accepted this invite. And I'm excited to talk to you. How's life? Busy?
Yeah, pretty busy. This year, there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of new, opportunities. And so this morning I had a meeting with the team and we were talking about that, just kind of reflecting about all these things that happened this last year, but thankful nevertheless.
Yeah. Hey, that's true. That's true, guys. And I know I shared, it might take a minute for YouTube. It takes a minute to tell people that we're live, but if you guys do tune in, make sure you guys share the stream, make sure you like it, comment, you guys interact, because that tells YouTube, hey, they're doing something good here, But no, I appreciate being here. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the year, and we're going to get into, of course, all this stuff. Real Talk with myself is really just that, a podcast where I love to highlight people who are doing things, like musicians, anything goes. But so we'll talk a little bit about that, just kind of how you started, a little bit about yourself. I guess we could start with that, just kind of introducing yourself. If people come back here, even if they hit the replay, if they're like, who's Santos? Like, I haven't heard from him, so just do like a little intro of who you are. And then I have a few questions. They're not too hard, but just to talk a little bit more about like how you got into the music and everything you're doing here in Salt Lake City. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So my name is Santos Jaguar. I'm a bilingual music artist, but I'm also a content creator. I'm also a content creator, event planner of Vibras del Lago. So I do, cumbia Latin parties as well that I host, MC, hype man, all the above. And I do cumbia music, reggaeton, bilingual vibes, things you can dance to, vibe to. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, in a nutshell. Okay, that's cool. And guys, if you can see on the bottom, it should tell you to follow him on all social media. I believe that's all for all your social media, right? YouTube,
Correct.
Santos Jaguar as well. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys give him a follow. But okay, so I love that. So obviously, you started. I'm gonna ask you the more, I guess, basic question, right? What inspired you? Actually, let me put it up here. That way you can actually read it. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in music? Like, who or what inspired you, and like at what age? I always ask all the musicians I interview because I'm always curious, like, okay, when did you start like in this? Like, what got you to be like, I'm gonna be a musician?
Yeah. So when I was a little kid, like I always I grew up listening to like banda machos, banda cuisillos, like a lot of banda music. That's what my mom was listening to, like the tapes.
Yeah,
And
tapes. I remember the tapes.
yeah, just the energy of that music, just like I remember being a little kid and just kind of being in my room, like blasting it and just like either playing on with the the pans like as the drum, or like just pretending like I was the singer. But the energy of the banda music and just that full like
Just hit
band
different.
sound, yeah, it just hit different. And that was kind of like my first like memory, like being really drawn into music.
Mhm.
Nobody in my family does music. Like no
Really?
one in my immediate family. Like I have uncles that I found out later on that were in a banda in Mexico, but
Oh
like
wow.
I didn't know them. And I don't know. I just like when I was like 11 or 12, my older brother started like kind of introducing me to like Nelly and like rap music. And
Okay.
Nelly was like the first rapper that I heard, and I was like, man, I want to try that. Like, I want to rap. And so I
Yeah.
used to rap like kind of like by myself in my room or on the trampoline. And I would just do like
Really?
little elementary school rhymes.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I started going to, and then I started going to the Boys and Girls Club also when I was around like 13, 14. And they had like a studio there. They had a music studio. And so that was like, I was like, okay, here's my opportunity.
Yeah.
And I
That's so
started,
cool.
yeah, I
Wait,
started
sorry, real quick.
recording
Was that
music.
here in Utah or was that in California? I think you grew up
No,
in
that was
California, did you?
here. That was here.
Oh, it's here? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I was
Okay.
born and raised in Salt Lake City,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Midvale. Yeah,
Okay.
Midvale, Utah. And so, yeah, it was the Midvale Boys and Girls Club. And so I
Okay.
started recording my first songs when I was 14, 15, and I made my first
Wow.
CD. And I was rapping. It was more hip hop
Yeah.
vibes. And I started selling my CD in middle school to my teachers, to
Did
my
you?
classmates. Yeah.
That's fun.
And so, yeah, that's where it all started. That's kind of where it all started. I took
So tell me, that's a fun fact because I didn't know that. I don't know why I was thinking you were from from California, but that's cool to know that you're a native here from Salt Lake City. So
yeah.
okay, so tell me, I have to ask you, right? As a Latino boy here in Salt Lake City in Utah, like were you just one of those kids that are just like kind of, or I guess I could say I'm crazy too because I'm not embarrassed to like message people or to talk to people, like, but I wasn't like that when I was little. But were you that just you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna sell it and see people buy it, or how did you get the courage to just be like, let me tell people about my music, what I'm doing?
I
And how did
think it
that
was
go?
I think it was just like watching like hip hop movies and documentaries where they would sell their mixtapes out of their like cars.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you would always hear about stories about rappers selling their mixtapes.
Mhm.
And so like I don't know what it is when you're younger, you just don't care, or I don't know what it
True.
is. And like I remember like everyone received it really well. Like my teachers thought it was the coolest thing ever. You know, that's what teachers do. They're there to encourage
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Bradshaw. She was like, what did she do?
Shout
She
out
taught
Miss Bradshaw.
Yeah, she taught like I forgot multimedia class or something.
Mhm.
Um, and so that was her thing, you know. And so like she thought it was so cool that like I
That you're
went and
rapping?
yeah, like I printed out and burned my own CDs. I went to like Kinko's and like made my cover. Like I made my own CD. Like I'm the one that put it together.
So you were naturally like this producer, let's be real, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
musician and
essentially.
producer. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. I remember going to the swap meet and like renting
Like a booth or
a booth,
yeah, yeah.
and nobody bought my mixtape, you know, like
No
it
way.
was literally just like a table.
Wait,
And like
how old were you when you did that?
I was 16, 15.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, and I don't, it's just like
Yeah.
it's things like that that you're like, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I had no self-doubt. Like I just did
I
it.
love that.
Yeah, and like I remember like, like the older paisas, they would kind of lean in and then they just walk away, because they're like looking
They're
around.
like, who is this kid? Like what is he
Yeah, they're like,
selling, right?
what is this? Yeah, no, and nobody bought one album at all.
But you
Like it
didn't
was
give up.
no, I did it, and it was just
How
like
long were you doing that? Like how long would you go to the swap meet? Like were you doing that consistently like for a minute or
no, I only did it once, and I did it for
okay.
the full 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it was.
Okay.
And shout out to my brother. He was there with me, my older brother.
That's so cool.
He had his car behind, and we were playing some of the songs, and it
That's
was literally
dope.
just a table and CDs, like not
Yeah.
not even a table covering or nothing, just
Just like that. Like
plain.
here you go.
Yeah, it was like man, that's crazy
That's
to think
cool.
about that. Yeah, so yeah.
That's cool to think about that though. But see that I think that's why I love like asking people about how it started because sometimes it's cool to go back, like especially when you look at your life. I mean, we'll get more into obviously I don't know everything, but like to see where you're at now, in
Mhm.
spite of like life being difficult, because that's just the way it goes,
Yeah.
But to be able to look back and be like, damn, okay, well, this is how I started. I don't know why it was reminding me of the movie. Wait. was it Selena or I can't remember where they started kind of like that, trying to sell the tapes or the CDs, you know? It just gave
Yeah.
me that it reminded me of that. But that's such a cool story though. Imagine you could be able to one day tell your kids and be like, damn, this is how I started, you know, and look at where you are now, you know. But that's really cool. And I think I love how you said, and I don't know if you follow me, but I'm huge with like, you know, self-development and all this stuff, but because I think it's so important. And you saying, you know, I didn't have no self-doubt. And I think, and I'm going to ask you what your opinion is on this, but I think that's so important porque in these days, like especially social media, like it kind of, if you're not careful, it como te digo, it like it can cause like that self-doubt where like when you start comparing yourself, right? Or am I going to be good enough? Or are people going to like me? Are people going to like my music? Da, 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 da. And so I think it's so important. Like, what would you say? I mean, I don't know in the transition from when you were 16 till now, like the challenges you've had when it comes to that and being an artist, because like, I think just life in itself without being a musician, like you have to deal with all these things, right? Like, what is your take on that? Like, because I mean, I think that's such a cool thing that you said. I did not doubt myself. And I think for us to succeed as human beings, as musicians, as whatever you want, like we have to have that self-belief. Would you agree? What do you
Yeah,
think?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you hear it all the time. Like, you kind of have to be delusional to an extent. Um, that's all it was, really. And I mean, throughout the time,
Delusional.
like,
I like that. I mean, you kind of have to
yeah, you have to be
be
delusional in what
delusional on the right things, right?
correct, like with your dreams
Yeah.
and like what you're doing. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know, like it's hard. It's like I haven't thought about that in such a long time. So
Yeah.
like just thinking about it right now really like
So
made
I'm
me happy.
challenging you.
Yeah, it made me happy because
Yeah.
it's like because throughout time and the years, it's like you kind of like you were saying, like when things get hard, like you kind of doubt yourself or you
Yeah.
kind of like get insecure or I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's just like you kind of have to just be so invested in what you're doing and so focused on
True.
building this thing that you
This is
kind of
true.
like everything else becomes like blurry, like you kind of have
Mm,
to I don't know, you kind of have to just like really focus on your craft and
yeah.
just keep doing it. I don't know. It's just
No, I think that's good because I feel like, well, let me pause real quick. Shout out to B Queen who's in the house. She said, I look you up, Santos. They looked you up. Your music is good. I subscribed. Cool. Thank you so much for
okay.
being here. We appreciate you guys. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure to share and comment and interact in the chat because that's why we do these live. So if you guys have questions for Santos, make sure you put them in the chat. Okay. But yeah, I think it's just you said something important because I feel like and I've interviewed several musicians as well, and they kind of say the same thing. I feel like it can get to a point in their music career where you're like, hold on a second, am I good enough? Should I continue? Or life hits you with like challenges. You're like, damn, maybe I should fall back. And like you said, I think it is important to look at that because so very often in life we can, we go through things or we're trying to achieve our goals. I've been there, done that, and then something happens and you're like, all right, maybe I'm not meant for that, or I give up, or you just kind of forget about your dreams. I'm such a big, como te digo, I'm a big, not fan, I don't know what the right word is, but of actually pursuing what we love, because I feel like life is too short. And a lot of times we put our dreams to the side because of what are people going to say, or I'm just not seeing the success I want at the time that I want. And when you understand that sometimes it's not at our time, but you have to, like you said, you have to embrace it and continue with whatever it is you want. Because to me, it's like to live a life not on purpose, like not doing what you're meant to do. Like this is why people can fall into like depression or does that make sense?
100%. Yeah,
Right?
100%. 100%. I mean, I was just reflecting on that this morning because I was talking to
Mm-hmm.
someone close to me about that, about not
Yeah.
feeling fulfilled in life.
Mm.
And I remember there was a time period where, like a lot of um, entrepreneurs, creatives, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like you have to have a side job or another job while you're doing what you love. And
Yeah.
I remember doing jobs where I didn't enjoy being there,
Weren't happy. Yeah.
and it does drain you with like
100%.
with what you're trying to create on the side, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
the only thing keeping you sane in that was after hours doing what you actually loved. But if you can get something that kind of like feeds into,
Like
you
what
know,
you,
yeah, your passion,
Yeah.
then it makes it a little bit better, you know. And like for the
That's so
last
true.
2 years, I was blessed enough to work at like a really cool job on Channel 4 as like a
Oh, that's so
graphic
cool.
designer. Yeah, like on
Nice.
TV, and like it was aligned with the
Yep.
stuff like entertainment and stuff, and it felt really good. It was the first time in life that I was like, wow, like I actually really enjoy this,
Yeah.
and it like opened up a lot of opportunities for
Yeah.
me. And I think a lot of a big thing too that helped me in the whole like when you feel like, oh, this isn't working, or I'm
Hmm.
not good enough, or I'm not enough, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is learning how to pivot.
Mm.
Learning how to pivot, like it's not gonna look exactly how you want it to look. Like
Yep.
you might have this
This is so
vision of,
true.
oh, I want to be this thing, but sometimes for you to continue, you have to learn how to like you have to learn how to pivot to like,
Yeah.
yeah, to tailor it, to change it up, to switch it up. As long as you're still doing what you love, it might not look exactly how you wanted it to,
That's
but
so
you're
true.
still doing it. So that's where
I
I'm at.
no, and I love that you said that because I remember a couple years ago, I was working with the crypto project, and I've changed this channel so many times, but I started creating content, and I was just like, when I thought about it, I'm like, this is not what I wanted to do. But the crazy part is, and I'm getting, guys, bear with me, I'm getting to a point here, was that like as I was creating content for that crypto project, but I was able to like insert like motivational stuff, like the stuff that I like, and then I started hosting spaces on Twitter or X, now it's called X now. And at first I was like, what am I doing? Ultimately, I had to let it go because I'm like, that was not my passion. But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like God or the universe said, okay, this is not kind of what you had in mind, but I'm going to create a platform for you to kind of maybe even practice or start talking to people, like doing podcasts and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is sometimes like what you just said right now, many times we might have plans, we might have like a structure or a way that you view like your plans, how you want them to go, and then God and the universe has another plan. Like, hey, listen, I'm gonna still use you like what you want to do, but I'm gonna might use you in a different way or a different platform or a different place. Like you just said, what you were doing aligned to what your passion is, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's so cool because and sometimes you do like for myself, I had to get another job right now because I'm like, okay, I need more income and like you can't really build or create unless you have, the sources to do so.
Correct.
But I'm not gonna give up on my podcast. I'm not gonna give like you have to be able to like you said, pivot is the perfect word. And I always repeat this. I sound like a broken record, but certain things stick to me. And Tony Robbins used to say this. He said when he used to work a 9 to 5, he's like, when I'm done with my 9 to 5, my real 9 to 5 starts. He started building or working on what he was really wanting to do. And I think a lot of times we give up, right? Because we're like,
Yeah.
I'll work a 9 to 5 y pues ya, I don't have time and ni modo, I'm too old for this or whatever, right? So many people, imagine Santos, how many people leave this earth and they never lived a fulfilled life or did what they were meant to do, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So many people.
yeah, and that's what I feel like is so important. That's what to me, even it's highlighting people and their music and their talent, but ultimately it's also a podcast to like encourage people, to say, hey, like even if you're not where you want to be, it's never too late, and I feel like you could ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do to get in alignment with what I really want? Because I mean, I don't know what your take is on this, but I feel like you just said, if you don't live a life where you're like, okay, something is missing, like I'm just not happy, like that, how do you analyze that? Like, am I doing what I was meant to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what makes me happy? Am I working towards that? Right. And I think it's just something to talk about because a lot of times people might not talk about it. And this is why, again, people can be stagnant or they're like, I give up. I'm too old for that. Or people are not going to like me. But I think once you start believing in yourself, it just changes. I remember people tell me, Cinthia, how do you get people to get on your show? I'm like, I just ask. I'm like, the worst thing they can say is no or ignore me, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you have. That's my opinion. I don't know what you think of, but I just feel like you just have to, like you said this at the beginning, just believe in yourself, guys. Because if you don't believe in you, if we go off of what people think, like, man, you're never gonna. I don't know. I feel like you're never gonna move forward because you're always waiting to see what people think, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Like, again, the conversation that I was having with someone just last night was like, they were like, oh, like, I'm tired of waiting for these opportunities. And I
Yeah,
said, those opportunities are never going to arrive. You have to build those opportunities. You have to
that part.
create the opportunity, especially with with all this technology and all this stuff that we have, like you have to do it for
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and surround yourself around people that are already doing it, because
Yeah.
just talking to those people, like you're like, oh, okay, like you learn from them, you're like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, and they learn from you as well, so
Yeah,
I think
that is so true, and that's something also super important. Another great point is who are you surrounding yourself? Like, who do you listen to? Like this stuff is real, you guys. If you guys are listening, like seriously, because a lot of times we and I've talked about this before in one of the podcasts I did, but I'm like, a lot of times we give people so much power of like, what are they thinking, or they're not, like, you have to be like, okay, um what are my goals? Okay, let me follow people who are doing what I would love to do. But a lot of times people feel intimidated, or they start comparing. It's like, no, like, how do you grow? You have to learn from people who are already succeeding. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah.
just like, and it's a cool thing. Like, for example, I found you on social media because you're doing your thing. So it's gonna populate, it's gonna pop up. And I'm like, damn, like this guy, he's doing it here, especially in the state of Utah. That's not an easy state to have like Latinos, especially, or people,
Yeah.
come up and do things. Like, tell us a little bit about how that experience is, like being a musician. And we're gonna get a little bit more into like the style of music and all this stuff, but like from a musician to like what you're doing right now on social media, like everything you're hosting, because you're doing a lot. Like, tell us a little bit how you transitioned to that, like the opportunities that you got from that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like as you mentioned, like in Utah with the music industry, it's not as developed, but it has been growing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the biggest thing here was just like, again, pivoting and learning, like where, like for me, like I started in hip hop, and then I went more to like the Latin side, reggaeton, cumbia, because I
Mhm.
was like, that's where I'm going to get more opportunities to perform at the club. And then
Mm,
it's like, okay, now how do I get paid for doing this? Because
yeah,
like I was seeing people doing all this stuff for 3 4 years, and then they would stop because they're like, they can't live off of
so
it,
yeah,
or they're not bringing value,
yeah,
or because they weren't bringing value, they just kind of were like doing the bare minimum. and
yeah,
so yeah, that was the biggest challenge, is like, how do I get somebody to see the value like that I see in myself, right? And
I love
so
that.
it went back to, there wasn't, I mean, I started traveling and doing shows in LA and San Jose, in Boise, like in other areas around me, and I started seeing what other local artists were doing, or other
Mhm.
parties, or
Okay.
other events. And like I remember I went out to LA and I would perform out there 3 4 times. They at this one party called the Menaito party. It's still going on to this day. It's,
Oh, wow.
I believe, every Sunday in downtown LA. It's kind of a local parties for the
Like a local
locals
bar.
in
Okay.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, at La Cita Bar. And they would bring acts, they would bring artists, they'd bring DJs. And like I literally just got inspired and was like, man, like we need to be doing that in Utah. Not
Yeah.
to say that it wasn't already happening, like the Latin parties, but like,
But more.
but more in that specific vibe, more like house
Mm,
party vibes, more something different than a club. And so it
yeah.
didn't exist. It didn't exist.
Oh,
And
wow.
we came together, me and a couple other DJs came together, and we basically created what is now known as Vibras del Lago.
I love that.
And we created it, and we're doing it to this day. And in the beginning it was tough, because I was like seeing myself only as an artist, and I'm like, oh, I can't be like
Like, stray away
standing
from that.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be like standing around or being the host or this or that,
Yeah.
because I'm an artist. Like, I'm supposed to only do this. And I think that's what happens, is that we get stuck in like just wearing one hat, like, oh,
That's
I'm
true.
only this one thing, like I can't be doing this, because it's like the
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I stepped out of that because there was opportunity to make money, and I'm still able to be an artist, and I'm still
Yeah.
able to perform because I created my own platform. And
I love that.
yeah, that's pretty much kind of like where we ended up, was going out and traveling and seeing what other cities were doing, and
Yeah.
bringing it back to Salt Lake, because a lot of people like to complain, oh, Salt Lake doesn't have this, Salt Lake doesn't
Yeah.
have
I
that.
hear it.
And it's like, well, create it then. That's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about Salt Lake, is it doesn't exist. Okay, do it,
Then
create
what are you
it.
gonna do? Yeah. I love that you said that, Santos, because I think that is so important. Yeah, you have to go do it. We're real quick to complain about things, right? People are real quick. Even I mean, I'm guilty of it sometimes too. We're guilty. I mean, we're guilty of complaining. But you're so right. Even in our own personal lives. Oh my God, I'm not where I want to be, or da da da, whatever it is. But created, like you said, and this is the thing. I think a lot of times people there's some funny TikToks where they're like, "Oh, the love of my life is just gonna come knock on my door," and that's a whole different topic. But I'm saying, like, people are just sitting, like, thinking one's gonna knock and say, "Oh my God, that was just the energy I felt, and this is where you live." And I'm not like, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. I feel like be in the right energy, and like you just said, okay, I wish there was this, and how many people really. I'm guilty of it. I remember years ago, I can't even remember. I had an idea, and I was like, and I just never did it. And then sure enough, years later, the people doing it, succeeding at it. And that's the thing. Like, it's the people who get up and work and do something, right? And I think you're right. Like the state of Utah, obviously, you've heard that in the past, and even still, I think it's gotten so much better. But it's like people are like, there's nothing in Utah. They'll always be complaining about Utah. But now it's like, I feel like even yourself and other content creators that I've seen a lot of content creators here in Salt Lake. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually like surprised of how many Latinos are stepping up and like doing something here, and I think that's so cool, that you're able to do that, because I feel like let's just be honest, like music is energy, right? It's vibration, and bringing people together through music, I think is really cool. So, but going on with music, I want you to describe, I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what would be your how would you describe your music style, I guess, right now as an artist, and your preference also? So I know you said you've done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm a little all over the place, but I would say it's upbeat, it's melodic, it's Spanglish, it's bilingual, it's really upbeat, it's danceable, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a mixture of languages and styles, cumbia, reggaeton.
I love that.
Very, very party. Majority of it is very
Atmosphere,
party. Yeah, upbeat. But if you go listen to it, like, I noticed, I was listening to myself the other day because I just realized that I have like over 50 songs on Spotify, which is crazy.
50? Wow. I was listening to a few of them. I'm like, oh my God, I had it because I hadn't heard them, of course, now as before I interviewed him, like checking it. I was watching one. I have your YouTube up too. Maybe you'll tell me what song you want me to put. But there was one 10 years ago. Maybe that's when you did I don't know if that was the rap song. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to pull it up. But that's pretty cool. That's what I'm saying, to look back and be like, oh, hold on a second. I got a whole handful of songs.
Yeah, and a lot of it is like party music, but there's a few that like I have a song called Sin Chispa that was like inspired by the one song Amor Eterno, like by Juan Gabriel.
I haven't heard that one. We gotta hear it. Okay.
Yeah, it's inspired. It was like directly inspired from that song, and I made kind of my own rendition on that.
I love that. Yeah.
About losing like a parent or a family member. But like the beat is like upbeat, and it's kind of like I don't want to call it EDM, but it's like an upbeat beat, but like the lyrics are kind of, they're kind of sad. And so I don't know, all my music is pretty upbeat. Just because I'm doing a lot of stuff in like the clubs and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I am working on a cumbia EP, like a small cumbia 5 project. And just wanting to diversify it a little bit more.
That's good.
Like change it up, I think I'm gonna stick to the dancing music, but I want to make it maybe more emotional, or maybe it's inspirational, because a lot of it has been party and just like more like sexy, just just like kind of surface level. And so I mean, if you go through it, there's a little bit of everything in there.
Everything. Yep. Yeah.
Lyric wise. And so
lyric
the majority of it is party, turn up stuff. So
now, question for your songs: do you write them all, or just you've written a lot, or every single song you write?
Yeah, pretty much write all of them. I mean, there's some of the collabs. It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
So like, I'll have people write with me.
Okay.
But yes, I write most of my stuff.
That's cool. I love that. I love that. Now, and you saying like you want to dig deeper into like making maybe diversifying and putting a little bit of different, which I think that's really cool because I feel like, I mean, I can't speak as an artist because I'm not an artist, but like I feel like I always say as human beings, like you have to always continue to grow every single time, right? You can't stay stagnant. Like you have to grow to just be better, just become better people. So I can imagine that in the music industry kind of has to be the same. And not just that, as I mean, obviously you're young, but I'm saying like as you grow and you live and you're like, okay, hold on, maybe I want to change it up or add a little bit of something different, you know, in which when you got the talent, like why not, right? You can reach all
Yeah,
types of people, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me where I'm at, where my headspace is just being
Hmm.
like more vulnerable
Mm.
with
Okay.
it because like you said, it's an energy
Yeah.
and people can pick up on it, you know. People can pick up like I have a song called Tu Sabes, and it's like kind
I
of like
like that one. I've been listening to that one. If you notice, I put it on
yeah,
my story and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that one was very like vulnerable and
Yeah.
it's funny because like that one didn't do like numbers or blow
Hmm.
up, but like a lot of people personally would reach out to me about that song. So
Really?
it did do what it needed to do. It just didn't hit
Mm.
the mass. It didn't do as good as like the other ones did number wise, like listeners. But
Yeah.
like I had more people like personally reach out because it was just like a vulnerable song, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. See me, I obviously I like all your music, but to me, when I heard it, I was like, okay, because I'm on me, you know, like I said, I'm older, so it's just like, okay, I like the vibe. It's a little more chill, but it's more, you know, and I really enjoyed it. But I mean, then again, like you said, there's something for everybody, right? But it's good to be like a diverse artist because, like you said, you maybe the song didn't hit like go viral, whatever, but like there could be other ones that people are like, okay, I can listen to this, you know, and I think that's really cool that you can look at it that way and go back and be like, okay, you know, and pay attention to the response, how people respond and stuff like that. Now, with that being said, since you said you write your music, like, and I know you say you have a lot of party music, but now you're trying to change that. So when you think about that, like, where do you go? Like, what headspace or what inspires you to get into that creative moment? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you're going to write or like what headspace do you have to be there? Or is there something that you're like, okay, I feel like writing and this is what I'm going to write about?
Um, I would say just life. I would just say like emotions. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like
Yeah.
just like we all deal with life and
Yeah.
emotions and how we feel. And so I'm like, let me just captivate that energy of like a heartbreak or
Mm,
rejection or insecurities, whatever, and like let me put it in a song. Like that's
okay.
kind of where I'm at now, you know, like
Yeah.
or like yeah, that's really it. It's just tapping into like those raw emotions and just putting it down, and hopefully someone can resonate with it. So
I love that. And I know I ask a lot of people this, but when you do write, would you say for you, when you write, is that like a form of therapy? Because especially you saying that you resonate with life, you're like, okay, this is where I'm at right now in life, or this is what I've experienced. So I'm gonna write about it. Like, is that like therapeutic to you when you start writing songs?
um
Yes and no.
yeah, I wouldn't, I don't know. I never really saw it that way, but I'm sure
Mhm.
it is, you know. It probably is.
Yeah.
I didn't title it that, but it
Yeah.
probably is in a way, yeah.
Okay. And I ask that just because, you know, especially when you guys when I interview music I mean artists and songwriters, if you're a songwriter, because you know you write music, but obviously it also depends. But I have heard a lot of other musicians that I've or artists that I've interviewed, they're like, usually it's about sad stuff, you know, or usually it's like when you're going through something, it's easier to write because you're like,
Oh yeah.
ah, this is what I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
one of the girls that I interviewed, she's like, I'm trying to like tap into like writing more happy things or like bringing the energy up, you know. But I feel like you just have to kind of feel what you're feeling because people like us, we can resonate with the song or not, right? You're like, ah, that one hit. Like I can resonate with that song, right? And
Yeah.
so and I feel like if you're just like you just said, you know, when life happens, like you have to go with what you're feeling. And like I'm a person that I go off of energy a lot. Like even like interviewing you, I could kind of like feel your energy. And I know like life, I always tell this to my kids and to people, and I have to remind myself, life is always gonna have challenges. Like we're always, it's like a roller coaster, right? You can't always be high and you can't always be low, right? And I think the important thing is how we react to life's adversities and
Mhm.
understand that like, hey, life can suck sometimes, but you know, it's how we react to it, you know. And I think music is such a powerful thing because like for example, what you're doing, people in the parties, the things that you're hosting, it makes people happy, you know, because you get into that thing. But it's also so important to tap into with yourself. And this is why when I interview people, I love to do that. Not because I've mastered it. Let me clarify this. Like I do it because I need it. I need the reminder. But I also like to remind people like, hey, you could be the life of the party. You could be this, but like tap into you. Like, are you okay? Like what has space in my end? Does that make sense? Because I
Oh, yeah.
think mental health is extremely important. If I could tell you the times that I've met people who were smiling all the time, who were laughing, who were the life of the party, and then boom, you're like, damn, I didn't know they were going through that. How would you say, or in your perspective, how important mental health is?
Oh, it's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell my guys all the time, my team, and I mean everyone does handles it different, but me
Yeah.
personally, like I have to go on a hike, I have to go on a
Nature.
walk to like go to nature and ground myself before a big event or after a big event. Thankfully, I have a dog, so it makes it
I've
super.
seen him. He's so cute.
Thank you. Yeah, it makes it super easy to just go out and do that,
Yeah.
whether I'm tired, exhausted, I need to go ground myself
I
because
love that.
I'm going to be around a lot of people, so I have to come
Yeah.
correct. And
Yeah.
sometimes, unfortunately, especially if you're back-to-back events
Yeah.
and you're sleep deprived, sometimes you're not at the highest energy, your energy is
Mm-hmm.
not correct, but you kind of have to just
Yeah.
do what you got to do, like either, take the time to still go ground yourself,
Yeah.
whether it's, like going, me personally, I like to go to the hot springs,
I love that.
take a nice bath. Like I have to do
Like
these things.
ground
I
yourself.
have
Yeah.
to do them. It's mandatory, like before and after
Good.
these events to clear my energy, burn a little sage, do what I have to do to just,
Yeah.
unwind and to get mentally ready. And
Mm.
I think that's the most important thing. Like I
Yeah.
always think to myself, like I'm not the most talented, but what has gotten me where I'm at is my consistency and the person I
Mm.
am when I interact with other people, how I
I love
connect
that.
with other people and how I show up. And so
Yeah.
I
I,
can't be that person unless I go do that. Cause I see it all the time in nightlife. Like,
yeah.
I'm sober now. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke. And like I see a lot of that for people to like kind of keep pushing forward is that they keep
That's true.
consuming to be able to, oh, I'm no
And then it
desvelado,
escalates.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
hungover, let me drink more, let me smoke more so I can just get through right
Mm.
now, and it just gets, you're just in a vicious cycle. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Dang.
like, I'm exhausted. I'll be exhausted, but I rather, you know, like
Yeah.
through
No,
it.
and you know what, Santos? A shout out to you because like just thinking of that. I mean, again, at my age, man, if I go out one night, like I need like a week or two to recover. Like just because I'm like, I can't do that nightlife so much anymore.
It's rough.
But I feel like, for you to be able to be in this industry and to be sober and to be, it's like, you know what, I maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm not talking for you, right? But like you have to be careful, right? Because it can be like if you let it go, shoot, you could just live in that, right? And
Yeah.
and I love how you said that you ground yourself because I think that is so important. And I remember, I'm gonna tell a story really quick. I remember months ago, I hadn't gone out in the longest time, and I went out and I drank a little too much. And I don't do that. I don't do that often. Like every now and then I do, but oh my God, like my body was telling me, just because I have been trying to be in this like, okay, grounding moment, like in this like bettering
Mhm.
myself. It was so weird. Santos, like I literally, my body's like, hey, okay, you need to go out and reground yourself. Like you need to go like to the mountains. Good thing we live here in Utah, right? Like the best, most beautiful nature. But
Mhm.
like I literally felt that into my core. I'm like, oh my God, oh, I just dropped my earring. I'm like, I need to go out and like really like, and I had to do that. I remember my friends were like, you want to go? I'm like, no. I'm like, I need to ground myself. And I think a lot of times people maybe don't know how to balance it. And again, or they sometimes how do I say this? We try to hide, or not hide. I don't know what the right word is. Ignore maybe the things that we're going through internally and mentally. And it's
Mhm.
easier to just go party, go drink, and kind of drink away reality, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I lived that life
Yeah.
from when I was like 20, 21, or I don't know, maybe 18 to, what, it's been 2 years,
Hmm.
like to 29, basically all my 20s. I lived that,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like you're going through stuff and you're like, well, let me, like you said, drink it away or
Yeah.
whatever. and it doesn't solve anything. So it's
That's
like,
true.
and hangovers suck. So
Like they do. Oh my God. I'm telling you, at my age, I'm like, and like I said, I say I drink socially, but honestly, it's not something I prefer. But like, certain occasions, but like you said, I feel like you working in the night life industry, like that's what people do. I mean, that's what people do, right? Like when they go partying and like, so for you, wait, so how do you, and this is probably a silly question, but how do you keep your energy up? Like right now you seem serious, but I know you're a funny guy because I see your social media. You be putting some funny stuff or you have like that dark sense of humor, right? But how do you keep your energy up like when you're hosting these parties? He's like Celsius. No, I'm just kidding. Energy drinks.
yeah, no, really though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big yerba mate drinker.
Ah,
I rather go with a yerba mate. I will drink sometimes like a pre-workout energy drink, but
yeah.
preferably like my teas. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie. I'm kind of on like 3 hours of sleep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of low on energy today, but yeah, most of the time, like during events, drinking tea, I'm just really getting into like the energy of the event, the music,
Love that.
feeding off of people's energy as well.
Super important.
But
Yeah,
but not every event is like that. Like if an event
that's
is
true.
dead, I can't feed off of it.
That's
It's
so
hard.
true.
It's hard to get into it.
And it's hard to get people going, right? Because I know that because I haven't done what you do, but like in a different platform, and you're like, oh, like how do I
It's
get
rough.
people to get into it? Now, with that being said, my next question, and I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I know you're tired. But so what would you say is your favorite venue that you've performed or even hosted? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your favorite performance that you've done, and what did you, I don't know, learn from it, or what's your worst performance? All those questions. It's right there, just in case. That's a lot.
Nice, nice. I like that. Man, my favorite venue for performing. I don't know.
No, or even you know what? Let's change it a little bit. What about even what's the your favorite maybe artists that you've like also like either met or performed with or collabed with? Maybe that's easier.
Yeah.
He's like, there's so many. Hold on, let me get my list.
No. I mean, there's been a few that I've worked with. Like I was. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. I recently performed. It was in October with this DJ from Milwaukee. His name is Chan.
Okay.
He's a EDM Latino DJ.
Ooh,
You
that's
know,
like a thing right now, right? My kids are crazy about
yeah.
EDM music. Oh my god, yeah.
Yep. He's like he's homies with like Dioro and Ray Burger. Shout out to
Oh,
them. And Chan actually remixed one of my songs, and it's like
ooh,
one of my highest streamed songs is with him. Is his remix of my song,
that's
and
dope.
he came out here. He came out here for tour,
Oh wow,
and I got to perform, yeah, with him,
that's
and
dope.
the crowd was just amped up, man. The Latin
Yeah,
EDM crowd is just so fun. Like, I
yeah,
didn't really grow up going to like raves and like that
yeah.
kind of vibe, but because, like you said, right now it's kind of a trend, it's kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, hey, I need one of my
Tap in.
songs to
Hmm.
get remixed in that style because,
Yeah.
again, pivoting, learning how to, hey,
Yes.
what's going on? What's hot right now? Okay, let's get it. Like, let's get in there. Let's get in the mix.
Yeah.
And so that was super fun to perform that with him.
That's so cool.
That was in Salt Lake, with Chan. Super, super humble guy, super dope dude.
That's so
Again,
cool.
he's living that tour life. Like we hung
Yeah.
out a little bit after. Like I took him to his hotel, gave him a
That's
ride,
cool.
and like he literally like he was literally just gonna go shower. It's like 3 in the morning, and then he
Yeah.
has to go to the airport. Like
Wow.
like
Dang,
he's
that's
all,
crazy.
yeah, and it's exhausting. It's like
I was
to
gonna
be
say,
able to be up every night and then have to be up the next day, and like I'm an
yeah.
early bird. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I go to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning. Like
You
I
wake
wake
up
up at
early.
7. I'm always awake at the same time.
Mm,
So yeah, that
yeah.
was my favorite. That was one of my favorite performances with Chan. I mean, shout out to Drift Lounge. Drift Lounge was really dope. That's a
Yeah, you've
venue
been doing
that,
a lot of events there, right? Are you
yeah,
just like kind of you have like an agreement with them already, or what? Are they just like the events? They're like, keep doing them
no,
here.
no, we don't have an agreement. We have a great partnership with them.
I love
And
that. Okay.
they've been really great with us. And
Yeah.
so we did a Selena party in the summer, and we had over 450 people there.
That's so
So that was
cool.
probably, yeah, that was probably one of my favorite also like performances venues. I think you were there, not at that event, but you got to see
I
the
was
back patio area.
yeah. I went to the oh my god.
Avanza.
Yeah, Avanza. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
pretty fun.
so our
That's where I
event
met
looked
you. Yeah.
similar. Yeah, our event looks similar to that
Yeah.
in the back. Um,
Yeah.
you know, that's where they actually got the idea from of doing the event right there. But
That's so cool.
yeah,
But see what you're starting. I think that's really cool. Like with Vibras del Lago, I think that's such a neat thing that what you're doing because like again, you're able to like collaborate with people, partner with people, with businesses. And like I see you on social media. And I don't know if you want to talk about that. I know you're like, I don't know if that's another part of your business, like where you're helping people on social media because that it's not easy. And speaking of that, like how has like social media impacted you like as an artist and as like what you're doing? Because I talk about this all the time when I was in the crypto world. I'm like, listen, like the way the world's going, it's digital, like it's internet. If you know who Gary Vee is, he says, you guys jump on social media now. Like this is the future. You know what I'm saying? Like when do you feel like or how social media has impacted or helped your career, if you will?
Oh yeah. I mean, the funny thing is I was listening to Gary Vee when I was working a dead-end job at a car wash. And I remember
he tells it like it is.
Yeah, and like he says the same things all the time. He says it over and over again. And like I got to a point where I was like, okay, he's saying the same thing. Let me execute. And I haven't listened to him in I don't know how long, 6-7 years. And I recently started listening to him again, and I was like, okay, yeah. Like I was like, I understand what he's talking about because like it was frustrating back then because I wasn't doing anything at that time.
Yeah.
Because
so you're like you couldn't like relate, it couldn't resonate with you maybe at that time.
It would piss me off, you know.
Yeah. You're like this mother
yeah, because it's saying the same thing over and over again, but it's like it's true though. What he's saying is true.
It's true. And you look at if you listen to him from 5-10 years ago and you look at where we're at now, you're like, oh dang, he was talking about this back then. So it's like, maybe I should listen, right?
Exactly, 100%. And so I help businesses basically organically create content for them to create awareness for their brand because like Gary Vee talks about that the most important currency, the most valuable currency is attention. And so with humor, we're able to create attention for brands just like I have for myself multiple times. And that's what's helped me with my career. And it's funny because sometimes people will see me and they won't even talk about the music. They'll be like, dude, I saw that funny ass video you posted.
The video.
And I'm like, oh yeah, huh? You know, I'm just like,
I know. It's like I reposted, one of your stories, and I was like, okay, he's singing. And then it took me a second to read what you put on there. I'm like, this guy, like he's like, but it calls people's attention because you're like, oh my God. But you're right. I mean, but anything that makes people smile, I mean, you know what I mean? Like
it's about something being like shareable. It's about it being
and relatable too.
Relatable, because that's a thing that a lot of people, especially like music artists, like, and I used to do the same thing. Is like the way you're presenting your product is not relatable to the audience.
True.
So how can you make it relatable? Like how can you like a human emotion? How can you provoke a human emotion? Humor. That's true. And humor is just the one that I always decide to do.
Yeah. So, and you're funny. That's what I was telling you because it's like funny. I think it's funny. You see people that are serious and then I'm like, this guy's funny, you know, but I think it's so true. Like for myself, I'm on social media, but I think it depends on what I don't know if expectations or your goals are with social media, you know, because obviously I love the relatable part. I think is so important. Like, for example, I remember I had a friend, she's like, ay, amiga, puras cosas de motivation. Like, you need to do something. I'm like, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do anything. But then at the same time, I will get people who message me, man, that thing that you posted really hit home and da-da-da-da, you know? So it just kind of, I feel like you have to find your like, okay, why am I on social media? Like, I remember my ex would tell me, if you're on social media, at least find a way to make money. And I was like, oh, then I was like, okay, well, it is smart because this is where we're going. Right. But I think, like you said, you have to be relatable and it's not easy to build social media. So like when you find a niche or you're like, okay, this is how I have to kind of like grab people's attention, if you will. Yeah. You know, but you still, like you said something really important earlier, the consistency I've noticed is super important too. But and everybody's, it's going to, how do you say it? Hit people in a different way. Like for example, you're doing a lot. I mean, you're a musician, you're hosting things, like you have a lot going on. So I feel like, and then your videos that you know, the funny ones they're funny. Like people love it. So they gravitate to that, you know? So shout out to you for doing that because it's like, it's not easy to build things, but at the same time, like one of my friends used to tell me when I would tell her, "Oh my God, it's just so hard." She's like, "It's hard because you say it's hard. Like everything's going to be hard, right? It's like what you want. What is it that you want out of this? Okay, so what is it that I have to do? Do I have to be consistent, even if one video gets like 10 views, like, but keep going, right? Because would you say that when you started social media, it went from 0 to 100, or did it take you time to build it?
Oh no, it took years. I mean, I've been
Right?
doing social media for I don't even know how long now, 15
Yeah.
years.
Damn, 15 years.
16 years.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was on MySpace when I was, 15,
Same.
14 years old. Yeah. Putting my
That's
music on
crazy.
air. Yeah. So it's like I've been doing it for a long ass time.
For a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like paying attention to trends, seeing
Yeah.
what works,
True.
like as an artist, um, like how people sample old songs and remake them. I
Like the
basically took that
mashups you do, I
approach.
like. Mm-hmm.
That's what I approach social media like. Like I
Mm.
see what works with this creator. Oh, that went viral. Let me make my own version of it.
Oh,
Boom.
I like
You
that.
know. Yeah. Like I had a video recently pop off that it was. I don't know if you saw it. I put like dating in Rose Park or something like. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, like where you asked somebody, like you were on the phone or something? That one?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one's hilarious. Who was doing the voice? It wasn't you, was it?
No,
No.
no, no. It was just some. It was just some. It came from a funny video.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
and other people were doing that same concept where they're like pretending like they're talking to
Yeah,
someone on the phone.
that was
And
hilarious.
I was like, let me make it about a city where there's a lot of Latinos,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it worked. I made it specific for our area because
For our
yeah,
for
because
your
I saw
audience,
someone
basically.
also was like dating in El Paso. That was where the
Oh,
idea came from,
okay.
right? And I was like, oh, like let me do it for
You're like
dating in
perfect.
West Valley.
We have a lot of content here in YouTube of that
Yeah,
type.
yeah. And it was relatable and it blew up, and it's like, and that's
That's
what
so
I'm
dope.
saying. Yeah,
That's cool. And
yeah,
that's cool. I mean, and I think that's important. If anyone's watching and you guys are, because I know I see it all the time, even on TikTok. Oh my God, I only have 200 views. But then when you look at it, I think, and then we're gonna wrap it up because I don't want to take more of your time. But like when you change your perspective on things, I think it changes too. Like for example, like TikTok, get out of the 200 view. I mean, yeah, but then when you think about it, if you had 200 people right here in a room, you're like, damn, that's still 200 people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people, what they say, and I don't know if you can agree because you're doing so good in social media, but like you said at the beginning, it's being consistent, and thinking, okay, what's my niche, or what do I like, or what's relatable, and then going from that. So, all right,
yeah.
well, we're almost at an hour mark, so, and I know you're tired and you probably need to go to sleep, but just to wrap up the podcast, Santos, I appreciate you being on here and your time. What's something, I guess, what do you have coming up for you as an artist, or that you want to tell people about, and that's it, I guess. Any last words that you want to tell people who are trying to maybe do social media, trying to do something here in Utah or anywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so right now, I'm working on that. I'm working on like an EP, like a 4 or 5 song cumbia project that I'll be dropping soon. And I would just appreciate, like for y'all to check it out, listen to it, vibe to it, let me know what you like, what you don't like.
And you're
So like,
on all platforms, right?
correct, yeah,
Apple, Spotify, all that. Okay.
yeah, everything. And I'm planning it. Yeah, I'm not gonna give too much out about the names or whatever,
Okay.
but yeah, that's coming out soon. I mean, I have a bunch of music already on social or on like,
Out on the platform. Yeah.
on Spotify and everything that I feel like hasn't got as much attention. So I would
Mhm.
definitely recommend people to go listen to some of the stuff that I dropped this last year. I
Okay.
didn't promote it as much because it was a little different from the more party stuff. So maybe that's why I didn't pop off. I don't know. Or I
Mm.
just didn't promote it, or because people are gonna gravitate. That's the one thing I noticed is that when people like it, and you know when they don't, because like
Mm.
immediately it's gonna like start getting traction
Like it
on
didn't call their attention or something. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna start picking up. And
Yeah.
then as far as like I mean social media or just that whole world, I would say the biggest thing is just collaborating with people,
I like that. That's
yeah,
like a huge thing right now, right? I've seen.
yeah,
Yeah.
collaborating and just offer value, focus on
Mm.
offering value. Like
That's true.
we like whatever niche or whatever thing you're going to go into, offer value, because
Mm.
at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you
That's true.
farther. Yeah, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
I love that.
yeah.
You're like, I have too much. Well, I love that. I appreciate that. I mean, you guys, yeah, make sure you guys follow him on all social media. Also, Vibras del Lago, and just follow everything that he's doing. I think you have a link tree. I'm gonna check when I'm done with the live. If not, I'll add it in the description. That way, people can follow you and the platforms as well. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Santos. Honestly, you have a huge impact, especially here in Salt Lake City. I've seen it. Like I follow you, and I'm like, wow, it's really cool to see people do what they love and like be consistent and be good at it. You know what I mean? And like you said earlier, I think if you guys are watching it and you're like, man, I would love to do, like, who says you can't do it? It's just doing it. You know, it's just being consistent, believing in yourself, being your biggest fan. Because like I've had people ask me like, hey, is that podcast gonna work? I'm like, I don't really care. Like right now, if I don't have a lot of people, I think you have to just flip your perspective on things, right? Because if you're always living onto like, are people gonna like, no, okay, what, like you said, what can I do to add value to people? Or to give value, you know, but number one, you have to value yourself and be like, listen, all right, I think I have what it takes to offer this, whatever it is, right? And just do it, you know. So I appreciate your time. I wish you the absolute best. And before we close, I want to close off with one of your songs. I want you to choose it from your YouTube, and we'll end the stream with that.
Oh man,
I know you have a lot. I was trying to, when I went to your YouTube, and I was like, okay, I don't know if you have any updated ones, but there are some good old ones too there. But I want you to choose it, and then we'll wrap up this podcast for today.
We can do Tu Sabes, yeah.
Okay, all right. How funny that I have it up right here. That's really funny. So this one, when did you wrote this? How long ago?
Man, it's been like 2-3 years now, I think.
Has it?
Yeah, we have a music video for it. I don't know if that's what you have up.
Yeah, I do. Hold on, let me actually try to pull it up while I have you here. Hold on.
Yeah,
guys,
that was like
and if you
2-3
guys
years ago.
2-3 years ago. And I love how you're doing collabs too. I have to message you behind the scenes to see. I would love to interview a lot of people that like you have collabs with, because I think it's really cool. I mean, listen, I love music, so that's why I think to me, eso me llama la atención, because I'm just like, I think it's so dope, especially well, anybody, right? But Latinos here, especially locally, I think it's really cool to be able to do that. You know what I mean? But let me share it just to make sure this is the right one before we continue. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the right.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna end it off, guys, with this song called Tu Sabes. But you guys, if you guys tuned in, we appreciate you guys. If not, you can always come back and hit that replay. And if you guys can do me a favor, when the live is done, I don't know if I'll have to edit anything. I think we're okay, but come back and comment and like it. That way, you know, people, it could be pushed out. But Santos, once again, thank you so much for your time. I wish you the absolute best. Hopefully I can see you soon, collaborate, do something. And whenever you want to come back to the podcast, of course, you're always welcome. Okay, so thank you so much. And that's it. Any last words?
No, thank you for making time for me. And yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, guys, if you guys are tuning in, we appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you next week for episode 8. It's going to be really cool too as well. So thank you, Santos, once again, guys.